The path. Today we're talking about peaks and valleys, and I don't know. I'm gonna just feel like singing. So sweet, lovely spirit, be good. Oh, spirit, be good to me, 'cause I'm so awfully, awfully, awfully misunderstood. Oh, spirit, be good to me, 'cause I'm all alone in this crazy country of Costa Rica. Oh, please, won't somebody have pity, pity, pity on me? You're just a lonesome, just a lonesome, just a lonesome babe in the woods. Oh, spirit, be good. So there's my little opening prayer. What's up? Good to see you all. Hey, Smiling Chef. What's up? Jacqueline, love that you guys are here. Thank you so much. Diego, great to see you here. Thank you all for joining. Welcome to Walking the Path. Man, I've been walking the path this week. Let me tell you, the path had some valleys. A big old valley. I mean, a dip, boo. I'm talking about low. It was a low, baby. Um, and I wanted to talk about it today. Um, one of the things that I was called to do, haven't done that yet, but I'm called to do it, is plant medicine at Rythmia. I'm going to be the guest speaker at Rythmia next week. What? I know, I'm so excited. I mean, I speak there all the time, right? As doing the classes, but to get to lead the guest speaker workshops and be a part of people's week in a different way is really exciting. And I'm going to do a ceremony on Thursday night with the group, and I'm super excited. And Rythmia, we do 4 ceremonies at Rythmia, um, and 4 plant medicine ceremonies and 2 breathwork ceremonies. And it's an amazing container for anyone who wants to explore plant medicine and to, more importantly, connect with their true self, that true sage within each of us. So if you're looking to connect with the sage within you, if that calls to you, if you're like, I want to connect with my inner sage, check out Rhythmia. It's an amazing place. And I got to do so much there. I've been there for 6.5 years, almost, 6.5 years. And it's an amazing, amazing family that we have there. So I hope to see you there. Come. If you have a wild whim and want to come next week, you can still book. Come next week and I'll be the guest speaker. But generally I'm there. So, hey, Dalton, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you all. So grateful. Matthew, I saw Matthew is on here too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So peaks and valleys. Let me tell you, the topic today is really what I went through. I had the great privilege, and Dalton and Matthew, who are on the IG side of life, were at this retreat that we did. I held a retreat called Remembering Wholeness, and it was such a high to be there and to be around all these beautiful people and to be in this vortex. Like, we were all, it was like the perfect configuration. And that's what you'll find whenever you go on retreat. It's like you all made an agreement to be there at some point, and you show up and it's like, oh my God, these are the people that I need to be around. And it was an amazing, amazing time. And then after the retreat, some of the facilitation team and I went down to Uvita and we spent some days at the beach, and it was magical. And I came home. I was excited to come home, and so many ideas were flowing. I wanted to get to work, and I came home and it was like, bam, brrr, just nothing. And like no energy, no motivation, no ideas. I felt like the week before I had Spirit on the main line, baby. And then, like, Spirit, where'd you go? What's up? You know? And then I had taken the time off to do the retreat. So all of my one-on-one clients, because I do private one-on-one coaching and integration sessions and spiritual counseling. And I had back-to-back, like, solid days booked with clients. And I felt like I had nothing. I felt like I had nothing. And it was so low. It was such a low, such a valley. And the thoughts were, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Right? Like, I have no reason. Everything is going well. Why am I feeling this way? And the emotions were of like feeling like I was falling behind, feeling like I was missing out on something, feeling like just out of the flow of life. You know, have you ever felt that way when you just feel out of the flow of life and everything seems to be passing you by? That's how I was feeling. I wasn't questioning God. I wasn't questioning, like, am I connected? I just knew that I had to be present to my feelings. I had to be present to what was going on. You know, there's some thoughts that accompanied, you know, on the high, it was like, this is great. Like, life's always going to be this way. Like, this is the way it is. On the low, it was like, oh God, things won't always be this way. One of the things that has really helped me through this period is to remember the concept of impermanence, right? That things are not what they appear to be, and things will not always be this way. And I can look to nature to get an understanding of that, because every dark night has a dawn. Every winter has a spring. Every storm has a sunny day. So nothing stays the same. That really helped me to anchor myself during this time. Like, okay, I'm not going to always feel this way. This is not permanent. And the further extension of this concept of impermanence when you're feeling so low is that not only does everything change, but I didn't want to get out of it. I didn't want to, like, I realized that the normal ways of escaping or coping that I might have used in the past wouldn't serve me here. And I wanted to be in a place of acceptance, knowing that winter is required for spring. It's not just like, okay, fuck, it's winter, let's get out of winter. No, winter is required for spring. Right? It's necessary. The darkness, the seed requires the darkness before it can come into the light. So there was a deep understanding that this was good, right? There's another spiritual principle here. Everything's working together for my good. Everything's working together for your good. And so I knew that there was something rich here, that actually it's in those times of despair, of loneliness, of the dark night of the soul, of feeling bereft or bankrupt. That's another way I felt. I felt like bankrupt, like I felt spiritually bankrupt. And I knew that this feeling would be productive. I knew that this feeling, this phase was important. And so I really moved into a place of acceptance, and self-awareness, right? To know that this was preparing me for something, that I was being prepared, not by something outside of me, but that this was a part of my natural flow. Like, nobody's in charge of nature, right? I love Dalton says, the harsher the winter, the more magical the spring. The lower you go, the higher you bounce, baby. Right on, Dalton. But the thing was that it's not that there's something external going, you know what? John Jacob needs to go through a low period right now. I'm going to just program some self-loathing right now. Let's program some feeling really shitty. Yeah, I think he needs that. No, like, nothing's in charge of nature. Nature, it's the entirety of nature that is connected to everything that fulfills this greater purpose. Like, everything is connected. So I knew that I was connected to not, like, it wasn't like it had to happen. It was like, this was a natural expression of of me. And then I'd like to just ask you guys to reflect on your own peaks and valleys. Like, consider what each phase taught for you. Have you been through a peak and valley cycle lately? How can you apply the lessons that you learned going forward? And I want to encourage you to embrace like the highs and the lows as a perfect place for our current growth, not because the universe is punishing you or me and say, oh, you got to do this. No, because nothing is in charge. It is the totality of everything that brings us this experience. We are the masters of our own life experience. And so we can't control any external stimuli, but I can control the way I'm responding to what's happening. And not to try and fight it, not to try and get out of it, not to try to escape it, but to just be with it. Oh, there's something else that wanted to come through. It'll come back to me. So there's a spiritual principle behind all of this. There's a spiritual principle behind when you're in a peak or in a valley. Here's what was trying to come through. There's a biblical phrase that says, all the valleys shall be raised and the mountains shall be, leveled. I used to think like, well, why would I want that? That's like boring, like what I really see it means now is that we're going to all go through these ups and downs, these peaks and valleys in life. And that as we have our spiritual practice, as we have our community, as we have our connection to spirit, the valleys and the peaks become less dramatic, a little bit more stabilized and harmonized. And so I want to tie this personal experience that I went through and hopefully having you reflected for a moment on some peaks and valleys in your life and the lessons that you learned, that we can then look at the spiritual principle of oneness. And it's what I was talking about earlier with nature, oneness, that everything is connected, that we are one with all of life. You are one with all of life, not just like a woo-woo spiritual principle, but literally you have all the elements within you: fire, water, air, earth, space. The fire, you have fire in you. Do you know there's more electrical activity in your cells right now in your body? You have more electrical activity than a thunderbolt coming from the sky in your body right now. I mean, the only reason why we're not sizzling off the seat, is because of this flesh suit. But inside of our cells, there's so much electrical activity right now. It's more electrical activity than a thunderbolt. You have the fire within you. Water, we're 80% water. Air, the breath of life, the breath of God is within us. And earth, all of the elements, all of the elements of life are within us. We have those elements within us. And space. So we are literally one. Our ancestors are not only the ancestors from our lineage, but the trees and the rocks and the birds and the bees and the stars and the sun are literally our ancestors. We are so one with life. So as we move through these peaks and valleys, let's remember our oneness with life, and that this is a natural part of life that is required. The winter is required for spring. If you did not have a winter, you would not have a spring. And this kind of helped me to realize that everyone goes through these phases. It's a universal experience and it connects us all, that we're all connected. And it really helped me to reduce the feelings of isolation and helped me feel a sense of community. Because at any given time, whatever you're going through on a planet of over 8 billion people, I guarantee you there's a couple million people at least going through the exact same thing. We are not alone. We are not alone. So that also helped me to understand this universal principle of oneness, that I'm one with my brothers and sisters on the planet, and I'm one with every aspect of life. Self-awareness and acceptance were other key spiritual principles that helped me navigate this period. Like Accepting this moment is enough and I'm enough in it. This moment is enough and I'm enough in it. Can I just accept that right now is enough? Even though I'm feeling low, it's enough. It's okay. Can I accept that I'm enough? I don't have to do anything. I don't have to be any different. In fact, I actually, a dear client of mine, I called and canceled my last appointment. And I just said the truth. I'm not feeling well. And we were able to reschedule. But I knew that what I needed right then was to go within. That's another spiritual tool, is that when these feelings arise or take us down, it's a call to interiority. It's a call to go within. So this is where we can embrace self-awareness, as we're aware of what we're feeling, accepting ourselves and where we are at, just as we're at, not trying to get out of it, not trying to move out of it, that we can then move into a spiritual practice like meditation, where we're being called to go within. And meditation, man, there's an old saying, if you don't have time to meditate for 30 minutes, you should probably meditate for an hour. I recently have added a midday meditation. So I'm meditating 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. And I'm doing it for a total of 60 minutes. So it could be broken up. I could do 30 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at lunch, and 20 minutes in the evening, or 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at lunch, and 30 minutes in the evening. However I want to break it up. I'm busy. I'm busy. I know you're busy. And taking the time in the morning and in the evening and a few minutes midday to meditate has been an anchor for me to make the peaks and valleys less dramatic. And journaling, I started to just journal what I was feeling as well, like journaling, just automatic writing, just writing out what's going on, really, really, really helped. And it helped me to cultivate acceptance and a deeper understanding of this as a spiritual journey. So that's the peaks and the valley talk. That's what I wanted to go over, to just share with you that I had been like, because a lot of people think like, oh my God, you must just be up all the time. Oh my God. Never see me as being down. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Matthew says air hug. Thank you, man. I love you. Dalton, I'm so glad you guys are here. Donna, thanks for joining. So yeah, I go through periods. I go through big down periods. And in the past, I'd want to, Leslie over here in Facebook world says, thanks for sharing. So inspiring. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate you. I go through these periods of ups and downs. And in the past, I would be like, okay, wait, I was up on this high. Let me get back up there. And now I realize that not to fight the low, and that the low is just as important as the high, and that it's necessary that we get some of our best ideas, our best creativeness. And I'm learning from Matthew and Dalton will remember our good friend Rocky from our retreat as well, my spiritual brother. And he shared with me some beautiful insights around not fighting the low, and to just wait until there's an activation within me. And that activation came in the beginning of this talk. I did a little singing, which I don't normally do because I don't have the best voice. But that was an activation of spirit, right? An activation of just letting spirit flow through us when it's ready, as it's ready. It's always here. I'm always one with God. I'm always, the spiritual principle is there's oneness. I'm never separate. And I got it. There's a great quote by Victor Hugo I want to share to close out. Donna says, I'm fighting the low. Ever since rythmia, the highs are so high and I thought I could hold them. Right, Donna? So you got to go back and listen to this talk because I gave some specific ways to to move through the low and to accept it, that the low is actually required. It's actually required. And so we give thanks for it. Like, this is a phase. The seed requires the darkness before it can come into the light. It's part of nature. And so you're doing fine, Donna. Don't you worry. And if you need anything, you can, message me and I could give you some more. But what I wanted to say is there's a quote from Victor Hugo about a sparrow that sings even when it lands on the branch. I'm paraphrasing. When the sparrow lands on the branch and the branch gives way, because the sparrow lands on it, gives way, the sparrow still sings because it knows it has wings. You have wings. I have wings. We are earth angels. So when that bow seems to give, when the dip happens, it's all right. We can still fly. We can use that low to catch an updraft for us to soar higher than we could have ever imagined before. So I'm so grateful and so thankful. Let's end this with a prayer. I'm so grateful and so thankful for the peaks and the valleys. I'm grateful for everything that fits my picture and everything that doesn't. I'm grateful and thankful for the joys and the challenges, because I know they're all part of the unfolding of life in its perfect way. And the perfect unfolding of life is what I recognize as God, as the divine, as the mother, father presence of self-existent mind energy. I'm so grateful and so thankful to recognize this presence everywhere, in, through, and as everything. And I know that I am one with it. I know that you are one with it. I know that we can't be separate from it, because we are the thing itself. We are the expression of the divine made manifest. We are the expression of an invisible substance of consciousness taken form, as only can be taken by us. There'll never be another you. There'll never be another me. There never has been. There never will be. And there isn't one right now. We are perfect, unique, whole, and complete, just as the presence of the divine is. And anything unlike that, we can let go of. So it's from this place of unified awareness that I speak the word, that we move through life knowing that even though the bow gives way, we've got wings to fly. We are supported and loved and adored by a presence that knows only our magnificence, that knows only how magnificent you are. Hear me. Hear me now. You are magnificent, beautiful, amazing, splendid, marvelous, outstanding, creative genius. You are all of those things. I am all of those things. We are all of those things. They're all within us. So I know that the presence that is the very beating of our hearts and the breath in our lungs, which never abandons us, because we are it. We are it. And it's from this awareness I know that all of our needs are met. All of your needs are met. Everything you need, you have, and everything you have, you need. You're guided for and provided for, directed and protected. That the divine influx flows through you in such a powerful way that it not only brings joy, peace, prosperity, excellence, creativity, love, harmony, balance, and order, health, and vitality into your life, but that you are a projector, a creator of that, where you bring that with you everywhere you go, that you are literally bringing heaven to earth by just being you. I'm so grateful and so thankful to know this truth. I'm so grateful and so thankful to be in this prayer field with you right now. I'm so grateful and so thankful to know that God is all there is. God is the peaks and the valleys, not some Santa Claus man in the sky, but the very presence of life within you. That's the presence. You are the thing itself. I am that which thou art that which I am. From this unified awareness, I release this word into the law, which says that it is done to us as we believe. That's the law. It's done to us as we believe. And I believe that all is well. I believe that everything serves. I believe that everything's working together for our good. I believe that you are a miracle, a magnificent manifestation of love, beauty, and intelligence. And I am too. This moment is enough, and we are enough in it. And so it is. Amen. Aho. Ashe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bria, thank you. Thank you all for joining. I'm so grateful to see you. Blessings. I'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Blessings. Ciao. Peace.